So our next community board, Te Pataka o Rakaihautu, the Banks Peninsula Community Board, and Deputy Chair Tyrone Fields. Welcome to the table. And you're bringing apologies this morning from the Chair, Tori Peden, as I understand it.
That is correct. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tēnā koutou katoa, te hoa, ko te ahu pataki te moka, ko whakaraupo te moana, ko Tyrone Fields toku ingoa. Tēnā koe, Mr. Chair. So as I say, I'm tabling apologies from Tori Peden, our board chair. She's convalescing from surgery, so I'm sure you'll join me in wishing her well as she gets back around the community board table.
Indeed.
So it looks like I'm in charge of the technology.
We can run that from this end if you just let the team know when you want the slides moved on.
Oh, well, good. That's fine. I know how to work a computer. So I think I know how to work a button either way. So first up, cruise ships. So as I hope you're all aware, so our board's one of our huge priorities is a destination management plan to be developed for Banks Peninsula. It's right up the top of our board plan. So you know, we're really dedicated to being able to manage the impacts of tourism broadly, but also cruise ships. You know, that's to support the economic well-being of the community, but also environmental impacts and, of course, the social licence to operate out there as well. So, in terms of that, ECAN have recently made a determination in their regional coastal plan that essentially puts limits on the amount of seabed damage that ships can cause on the seabed floor in our harbours. So cruise ships have got about a year to be able to comply to the requirements there, because at the moment only about 50% of the ships that come into our harbours actually comply with those requirements. So we really want to be able to make sure that we look after the seabed there. Just broadly, in Akaroa, we've had a really good. I mean, we don't know when cruise ships are going to be able to come back in the numbers that they did. Obviously, in Akaroa, things are going to be transferring to Littleton Harbour as the cruise ship terminal opens there, but obviously COVID has really put a kibosh on a lot of different aspects of that. But we want to plan ahead. So when things start to get back up and running again, we want to make sure that things are working really, really well. What we've seen in Akaroa is staff working together across different business lines and different business functions, working really well together to be able to deliver a good outcome for Akaroa. We want to be able to make sure that sort of stuff can happen in Littleton. You know, it's about looking after the parks there. It's about installing big belly bins. Can we have more of those, please? Big belly bins are a great thing. Toilet blocks, getting a renewed toilet block, and even using the toilets at the Gaiety Theatre, they've really come into play. So when things do start to crank up in Littleton, we'd really want to be able to see the same kind of thing happening. You know, we're not asking for extra capital investment. It's really just about being organised and staff working together. So I'd love to see that happen. Next slide, please. What have we got? Oh, Te Rā Community Park. Cool. So in June last year, Council notified the community of the intention to sell a couple of blocks of land over in beautiful Diamond Harbour. So over 50 residents of the local community got together and overwhelmingly supported retaining the land as open space and calling it Te Rā Community Park. So the Friends of Te Rā Community Park were formed, and they prepared a proposal to develop and maintain the land at no cost to the council. So in March, the community board resolved to approve the proposal. It was a no-brainer for us, and the Friends of Te Rā Community Park will take over the maintenance of the land and apply for funding grants to develop it. So the slide up there just shows the concept design of the park, including some plantings and recreational areas, and it'll be a wonderful asset to the community there, and it's just a really good example of the local community getting together and doing some good work. Next slide, please. So improved infrastructure. So anybody who's been out onto the peninsula of late will hopefully have seen the two wonderful sets of toilets that have recently been built over there. Firstly in Cass Bay, there. So it's an incredible asset for the, I mean, that's one of the really good places that people can interact with Whakaraupo Littleton Harbour, kayakers, sailboarders, swimmers. So to have some really good and fit for purpose toilets there is a real win for the, not just for the community, but for all of Christchurch, for everyone who uses that area. And Stoddart Point over at Diamond Harbour. So when you're all heading over to Diamond Harbour over the summer for the series of concerts and things that are going on over there, you'll be able to hopefully use the flash toilets that we've got over there as well. And you know, the more flash toilets we can get on the peninsula, the better, particularly in Littleton, to deal with, you know, when the cruise ships start coming again. Next slide, please. Thank you. And just finishing off with, so the Naval Point project, that's a huge project for the whole city. I mean, that's the number one place where, you know, if you've got a boat, if you've got a sailboard, a yacht, that's where you really can launch it, connect with the sea and the harbour there. So as part of the ongoing process there, staff have been removing some of the damaged pontoons out of the water there. There's sort of detritus left over from the marina that was destroyed 20 years ago in a storm, and so they're finally coming out of the water. And they're, you know, we don't want them in the water because they damage the environment, they damage the water quality. And we're working very, very hard as a community and with some incredible work from Whakaora Healthy Harbour project to really get the water in Littleton Harbour as clean as possible. So, and 90% of the material taken from the harbour is expected to be recycled there. So, and it's an important step in the development of Naval Point. And the development plan's due to go out for public consultation later this year, I'm led to believe. So, yeah, I was told to try and zhush up this report. I thought, you know, when it comes to the peninsula, everything's zhushy, really, isn't it? So, I hope you'll agree. But, you know, but that's me, Mr. Chair, so happy to take any questions.
Great, Tyrone, thanks very much indeed for the presentation. And you've left us time for some questions. Are there any questions on the Banks Peninsula report? No. Aaron.
Yeah, Tyrone, thank you for that, and some great picks there. Just the word zhuzhy, is that the French word for expensive?
It's a technical term, and it's a multilingual word for really damn good. Yeah, which I'm sure that, you know, everyone can be on board with.
Excellent. Now, I'm happy to move this report. Would somebody be happy to second that? Sarah Templeton. All those in favour say aye. Against, that's carried. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.